Hey John, how are you doing?
Good.
You remember that blue nylon bag that I used to take to work with me?
No.
It's not really memorable, but I think I just got it for free. I don't even know where I got it. It's this really just random fabric nylon bag. And I used that at work for a while, and then after like a year of that, I realized, I had to dress a little bit more professionally. So I said I should get a proper briefcase. So where do you go when you need a briefcase?
To a store, online,
Yeah,
and stuff.
I did it in that order. I went to a big department store. I looked at all the briefcases that, my father used to carry, things like that. And I almost bought one for like $300. It was on sale and it was pretty much exactly the design I wanted, but I didn't realize at the time that it was made of like not the best quality materials. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's a kind of bag that would just break down. So I didn't want to go for that bag yet. $300 is a lot of money, and usually I look stuff up. I check online, I do some research before I buy anything that costs more than like $100. So I went back home and I found out about full grain leather, which is a much better product than the genuine leather that a lot of the other bags are made out of. So this is the kind of stuff that is going to last forever. Saddleback leathers, thin front pocket briefcase. This is a medium in tobacco. Kendal Hyde's Satchel. This is in the brown color for a 15-inch laptop. And Marlondo leathers wing briefcase. This is the 14-inch version in the dark brown color. So let's take a look first at the Saddleback leather one. This is the first one I found online because they do a lot of marketing. So I saw a commercial basically. You know what commercials are?
Yeah, it's something on TV that try to make you buy something.
Exactly.
That's not good.
Yeah, a lot of commercials try to trick people, but I just found an ad, online for this, so I clicked on it, and this is, again, the medium tobacco thin front pocket briefcase. And all of these companies make briefcases in a thin version or like a wider version. So I'm just showing the examples that I have here, but they all make either one compartment inside or two compartments inside. So this is the one compartment version. You want to see how a 15-inch laptop fits in it?
Yeah.
All right. Can you hold it open for me?
Yes.
All right. So it fits nicely, very comfortably, right? You got extra space on both sides. You can put a sleeve on your laptop, fit a bunch more stuff in there. It's pretty expandable, and that's what the laptop looks like in there for reference. This is all made of full grain cowhide. So when you look at a piece of leather right here, that's the outside all the way through to the inside of the skin. Okay? So that makes it super strong, very tough, lasts for a long time. This piece you're talking about right here, you're touching, this is a piece of metal, aluminum, that's wrapped in pigskin and riveted to this D-ring, this O-ring actually, and this top strap. All right, so that gives the bag some more strength, especially when it's super heavy. It can stay and keep its form with that metal bar underneath there. So this handle, it feels pretty good. It's not as thick as the larger briefcases that they make, or as thick as the Kendal Hyde option or the Marlando leather behind us. Those two have thicker handles than the thin version that Saddleback makes, but Saddleback also makes, a thicker handle on the wider version of this briefcase. So if you could take a look over here, you see this is all one piece of leather, right?
Yeah.
It goes all the way from the front all the way to the back underneath this magazine pocket back here. See how the leather's a lot lighter inside over here?
Yeah.
That's, you know why that is?
Because it changed color.
Yes, very good. So when we first bought it, it all looked like this. It was all this light color. But it changes color when you use it, in the sunlight, when it gets wet, with the oils, and just rubbing on it. And just with use, it develops a patina. All these bags will do that. And this color is especially receptive to that. So this is a pretty good sized pocket back here, and it's all one piece of leather also. And then you have another front panel, this rectangle shaped piece of leather right here. And then you've got the two front pockets. Pretty simple. this front pocket, you've got the strap attached to a nice piece of full grain leather, which is not lined. It's unlined, means it doesn't have another piece of leather behind it, like this does. Remember what this is made out of?
Pig skin here.
Yes.
And the cow skin.
Very good, buddy. So the pig skin is lined on this panel and this panel, just to give it a little bit more structure. And it's easier to clean. It's a little bit stronger than cowhide, even though it's thinner. You can see right there. The pig skin is just the lighter one right there. All right, and so this front pocket is made of a piece of leather that goes all the way back here, up and around to the front, and then 2 thinner strips to make the width of it. So you can have, you can put stuff in here, or back here, or in this medium pocket. What would you put here?
I'll put a pen probably.
Cool.
Here.
That's what I do. Some people put flashlights. It works for a lot of different things, a utility tool, something like that. The inside is very simple, just one big compartment. It's got 2 little pockets on each side, and those are the seams that you see on the gusset. This seam right here is the bottom of that inside little pocket on the side of it. And then this gusset right here is made of a single piece of leather that goes all the way down and all the way around without any seams. So you can see how thick everything is when it all comes together right here. Back pocket, back panel, inside pocket, and the gusset. All of those pieces of leather are stitched together right here in the thickest part. But, it all works very well. You've got D-rings on each of the corners so that you can attach stuff like maybe an umbrella, a rain jacket, tripod. What would you attach to it? Something like that?
I'll take this and make it the hook here and make it into the backpack.
All right, backpack mode. That's a good idea. So let's show people how to do that. You unhook this dog leash clasp and you attach it to these bottom D-rings here and here. And then you can thread the strap through this O-ring over here. And then that's why this bag has 2 shoulder pads, so that one goes on each shoulder when it's in backpack mode. And that's how it works. That's pretty good. So this one, you can also just unbuckle it from here and then thread it through the O-ring. Let me show people the shoulder pads really quickly. Very substantial, very comfortable. It's 2 pieces of leather glued and sewed together. And inside it's got neoprene padding. Let's take a look at the Kendal Hyde bag. So this is Kendal Hyde's Satchel that's designed to take a 15-inch laptop. They do their sizing based on the size of your computer. So instead of the one strap that we saw on Saddleback and on Marlando right in the center, this one has 2 straps, and these straps are super thick, very substantial, and they go all the way around from the front through to the back, through the back pocket, and back to the front where the buckle is. All right, this is all brass, solid brass hardware. It's a little bit smaller. You could take a look at the clasp for the shoulder strap than the Saddleback version. It's less shiny, but still very substantial and heavy duty. Also, the D-rings that it has can be detached. Jonas, do you see these guys over here? See these little screws?
Yeah.
You know what that's for?
That's to unscrew if you don't need it.
Exactly. So you can get rid of the top handle, although this is what I primarily use. You can get rid of either of these D-rings if you're not going to use all of them. And there's a couple more on each of the corners. There's one on each of the corners at the bottom. This also has a gusset to make the width of the bag, but in a lot of bags that have 2 compartments like this will have one gusset over here and another one over here. Kendal Hyde made a single massively wide piece of leather that covers both gussets, and it's sewn to the center divider, and then it just continues the whole length of the bag without being interrupted by any seams. It's all one piece of leather all the way around. All right, so there's some pros and cons to having the 2 straps, right? It takes a couple more seconds, I guess, to undo 2 buckles if you keep them done. But the benefit is that if you load your bag up unevenly, right? Let's say you have like more stuff on the right side than on the left side, then you don't have to have an uneven look to it because you have 2 straps. So this one can be done a little bit less tight, and this can be done a little bit more tight, and it'll still hold everything down. All right. So let's take a look at the inside. All right, so again, this is full grain leather, but it's tanned differently than the Marlondo leather one and the Saddleback one over here. This one is vegetable tanned. So it's a more natural process for tanning. It takes a little bit longer, and all of the natural oils that the hide comes with get to stay inside the leather. You know, it feels a little bit more stiff because of that, but I've been using this bag for a while, so it's broken in, and it's going to continue to break in for, you know, the next few years. So underneath here you've got another piece of full grain leather. This strap right here just gives it more support. You can see how it's sewn in there and riveted to all the stress points to make it a little bit stronger, right? And that's how they connect the top strap and these loops. This is all made of full grain leather. All right, so let's take a look at the inside. We've got a back compartment, a medium-sized pocket, which is actually pretty big. You've got the laptop sleeve, which we're going to get back to in a second. An open pocket here with 2 pen loops that goes down pretty deep, not to the bottom, but still deep. It's attached to this front part divider. And you've got a pocket over here with a closure. This is a little stud closure that is really easy to open and close. And this pocket's also made of very few pieces of leather. It's just the one piece to make the front flap all the way through to the back, where there's another pocket, and another piece of leather right here for the front. All right, and then you've got the front compartment pretty deep. You know, this has like a little bit of an accordion sort of action to it, so that if it's not super full, you can still strap it down a little bit tighter, and it'll have a thinner profile. You know what I mean, buddy?
Yeah. And there's another pocket right here.
Yes, thank you. They have their logo right here on the small pocket out the front. Sometimes I put my phone in here, and other times I put my phone on the pouches, which we'll get to in a second. But this is the coolest part of the bag, this laptop sleeve, which is what the bag revolves around. So it's all about putting your 15-inch laptop away from the corners and the sides and the edges where it can get dinged and banged up. So you don't really need to have a sleeve, although it would stretch to accommodate it. You could just put the laptop straight in there, and that way it's furthest away from any of the outside edges of the bag. Make sense?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So up top over here we have these removable pouches. Can you get that out, please?
Yes. Just take it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get it out the loop first.
Take out the loop right here and slid the pocket out from there.
All right, awesome. So this pocket is made of 100%, you know, full grain leather again, and it's only made from one piece of leather, which is another thing I wanted to say. So that makes it extra strong, you know, very well designed, so that this front flap just comes all the way around through to the back and the front and the sides without needing smaller pieces of leather, which would make it, you know, sort of cheapen it a little bit. All right, stud closures on this as well. A lot of room. I keep my headphones in there. What would you keep in there?
I'll keep probably my water, headphone, or like wallet.
Yeah, you could probably put a wallet in here, definitely.
Snack in
Your phone, that's a good idea.
Or a snack in a small Ziploc bag.
Yeah, it'd probably have to stretch out to fit a smaller phone, but it's good for smaller items. And then this is the way that you attach, that you just thread the strap through. It goes in vertically, that's how it's shown here, but you could also do it horizontally if you put it on the shoulder strap or on the backpack strap, or, you know, even your belt. So if you want to put this in backpack mode, you probably can do it with a shoulder strap that it comes with and just thread it through the handle, but that would put stress on this that's not really, you know, made for. But Kendal and Hyde sell their own like additional backpack straps that would just attach to these bottom D-rings, and then you can wear it that way if you're getting on a bike or something. All right, what's next? All right, thank you, John, for moving over so we could still catch that sunlight. I forgot to say that Kendal and Hyde's shoulder strap is made from a single piece of very thick cowhide. You know, again, it's the full skin. The reason this doesn't look very suede-y is because this is what it normally looks like, but they refinished the back a little bit just to give it more of a polished look on the inside. And then this shoulder strap is solid leather, like it's just 2 pieces of leather. I think it's actually filled possibly with more leather, but from what I can see, it's a bottom piece and a top piece with the 2 slits for the strap to go through. It's also very comfortable, and it gets more comfortable as you use it because it breaks in. You know, like a new pair of boots or something.
Yeah.
All right, so next up, Marlondo's 14-inch wing briefcase right here. It's got, this is the darker color. It also comes in a lighter tobacco color, and it comes in a bigger option also. So we'll take a look at this. You got the front flap and a very substantial handle for this size briefcase, which I like. All of the hardware on this, the little rectangular rings and these rivets are all like an antique brass finish to them, right? Which is different than the last 2. On Saddleback is pretty shiny. On Kendal and Hyde, it's more dull and smaller. On these guys, it's not super shiny. We undo the front strap buckle, which is also made of 2 pieces of leather that are laminated together with a strap. You could see like a little bit of the nylon strap in between them that helps prevent the leather from stretching too much, but it's got a nice color to it. And normally when you order this, hey buddy, you back? You know, when you order this from the website just as is directly, it's going to have a pigskin lining inside, which is also kind of smooth and slick like the Saddleback, and I think it's black usually, but I asked them to make one with a calfskin suede lining instead of pigskin, which I think it's a good option to have. Saddleback used to have both of those options. Marlondo does. You just have to contact them and ask, and so it's just a little bit, you know, I think it's going to wear in better. This particular bag is actually brand new. Like, I haven't really had a chance to carry this too much, but having, you know, the cow leather on the outside and the calf suede on the inside, I think gives it more consistency in the way it feels and the way it's going to wear out. So anyway, we open it up. You've got the front flap that goes all the way through, you know, all the way around past this back pocket to the end. There's no seams in there. It's just one solid piece of leather. This is also a pretty big size back pocket. You can see the D-rings, which the other bags put down here, are a little bit in a different position on the Marlando bag. So that might make it'll just give it like a different feel when you're carrying it in backpack mode, which this also does with the same shoulder strap. You could unbuckle it, thread it through this O-ring, and then re-clip them down here. So this will be the back. All right, here's your back compartment. There's another shoulder strap in there, which is made of 2 pieces of leather sewn together, and then it has these extra loops that the strap goes through. So this would be for backpack mode, right buddy? And then I've got 2 open pockets here. I've got 2 pen loops right there. This one goes all the way down and is closed at the bottom, so that's probably for like a longer pen. And then if you have a shorter pencil or something, or some other thing that you have that's not super long, you can put it in this one because it has like a little gap. It's got a cutaway to help you to get it out, to push it back out, so in case it were to fall all the way through and it's a shorter thing. But you know, most pens or whatever are just going to fit just fine. So I like that it has the pen loops on this side, and then this side is just nothing is there. Now you see these little square patches of leather here, John?
Yeah.
See that right here on both the gussets at the top? Like, what is that for? It's not a pocket. It doesn't attach to anything on the outside. You know what that's for?
No.
So I'm pretty sure. So that is just to give the bag, like to help it to wear in a certain way, right? Because if it didn't have that, then it would just fold real easily, like this back compartment where the gusset, you see it's just one piece of leather here, and it doesn't have that reinforced square, so it just folds real easily. So if you look at the gussets from the sides, you can see how this one folds really easy, like an accordion, but then this side doesn't. It kind of resists it. because it has the pocket down here, this outer pocket, and it has that square on the inside. So having the little square up here reinforcement and the pocket on the bottom just gives it a more even appearance from the outside. So it keeps it a more uniform width inside, and then it helps this compartment to wear in the same way at the top as it would on the bottom, instead of like another bag that would turn into more of like a triangle shape. If it didn't have this reinforcement, the bottom pocket would keep the bottom of the bag wide, and then the top would start to get more loose. You know, as you use the leather, it gets more pliable, it gets more like relaxed. So having the reinforced square helps to have the top and the bottom wear in at the same pace. So it looks more uniform, it looks a little bit more neat. You know, using this for work, you're trying to look professional, you've got a nice suit on, everything's tailored, you want your shoes to match your belt, to match your briefcase, and everything should look neat. So this is just a little thoughtful piece right there. And then you've got another key strap with the clasp on it, and that's attached, that's riveted to the top, so that again, even when the bag is closed, you can just dig right in there and grab your keys out pretty easily. So you can follow the gussets, they go all the way around. This pocket is sewn in, it's got little holes here, you know, that might help with drainage. Let's say it's raining one day, right? The water has a place to come out, it doesn't sit inside the bag and get it all wet. All right, and then the gusset come all the way down, all the way through here until this bottom part that you wouldn't normally see until you turn it over. And then this bag actually does have a seam, but I find having this rectangular piece down here and down here all sewn and glued together kind of give the bag a little bit more structure. So I think this bag will probably stay standing for the longest without any help. Like all these bags are standing now, but they haven't really been used for many, many years. Most leather bags, when you use them for a while, they start to get really broken in and they don't really stand up by themselves. But that would be the positive of having this down here. All right, and then you can see rivets at the stress points back here and here. Front pockets are what this video is all about. I wanted a briefcase that has front pockets so that I can put more stuff in the back, right, buddy?
Yeah.
So what would you put in these guys? These are substantially taller than the Kendal Hyde pouch, and they're a little bit taller than the Saddleback leather's front pockets, but a little bit less wide, you know. So again, this is made very nicely with a front piece of leather that goes all the way back here. It goes all the way back to about right there. I don't know if you could see that, but very deep into the pocket. And then you've got another piece of leather here, and then you've got two thinner pieces for the width to keep it, you know, to give it some width to it. And yeah, perfect place to put your phone. I'd probably put the phone back here so that I can grab it easily. And if you look at the design of the front flap, it's not like the Saddleback or the Kendal Hyde one, which are more rectangular. You know what I mean, John? See how that's just like a rectangle? This one is cut at an angle, which gives it a cool little look to it, but also makes it easier to get in behind to the pockets and gives you more access to the pocket. You know, instead of having to really push up the corner, which is fine, but instead of having to do that, you don't have to do that as much because everything is very accessible because of the way it's cut. Make sense?
Yeah.
Let me just show you how the 15-inch laptop fits inside the Marlando briefcase. You know, it's a little bit of a tight fit in the back compartment, but this is how it looks in the front compartment. It fits perfectly. Now remember, this is the 14-inch version of the wing briefcase, but it comes in a larger version also. This definitely still works. I recommend all of them. They all will last for generations. They're all made of the highest quality thread and rivets and, you know, materials overall. The designs are, you know, these designs have been around for a very long time. But I just wanted to highlight some of the differences so that people could, you know, make their decision. All right, so there you have it. That's all three briefcases that I was considering as a work briefcase that can also be versatile enough to use, you know, on weekend trips or when traveling, to just have stuff with you as a carry-on. You've got the Saddleback leather, Kendal Hyde, and Marlondo briefcases. All great options. And I hope now you can see some of the more specific differences between them before dropping $400 or $500 on something.
And that's the best review. American review.
So you know what this bag is for here, John? It's a little bit different than the other three, right?
Yeah, it's for the GoPro camera, which we're using right now.
Yes, I keep my GoPro and all the equipment and accessories that come with it in here. But I know other people use way more sophisticated camera gear, and this is even better for them. So this right here is a little bit different. This is a camera bag, but I like bags that are really high quality and that are versatile. And this is very unique, so that's why I brought it out here. This is HoldFast Sightseer bag, and it's pretty cool. So we use it for the GoPro, like you said, John, you know, but it's really designed for like much higher end camera gear where you have those big lenses and all kinds of different attachments and stuff. So that's why it has this liner in here, which is very well done, and it's modular. You know, a lot of times you see dividers or liners that you can get online, but you can't really change the width of each of the compartments. But here you can, because it has two very wide Velcro straps in there. You see that, John?
Yeah.
So I can just move this over if I have a bigger thing to put here. So, you know, we're using hard drives, we're using, you know, all of our power cables, the camera itself, all the different cases and little accessories that GoPros have. So I can really change the width of each of the compartments in here to match what I need. All right, so very simple. 2 dividers, very well padded. It's got a very heavy duty zipper. You know, none of the other bags have zippers, but the way that you use this bag requires a zipper, because this actually sits at your lower back. You know, this strap is what comes with the bag, but that's not really how I think it really shines. So these are pretty heavy duty lobster clasps. You know, all of the materials used on HoldFast bags are very impressive, which is another reason I brought it out here. This is the black version of the Sightseer. I mean, where else do you see like a leather bag with, you know, this high quality bison leather that also has a MOLLE system in the front so that you can attach different pouches and accessories? Where else do you see that?
Nowhere.
So it's like a combination of like the practicality of like a tactical MOLLE system with the class of, you know, a very high quality leather bag. So I thought that was really unique. You know, I've never seen that anywhere else. You've got the Velcro on the other side of this for extra, you know, connection when you put a pouch with something important in it, like your phone or something else. And then the real way that I think this bag should be used is with these straps, not the basic strap that it comes with, but the Moneymaker straps that are also made by HoldFast. And this is also a matching American bison leather, which is full grain and super thick. It's glued and stitched to another piece of full grain bison leather in a different color. So you've got the white that touches your body and the black on the outside. And then maybe you can put this on, John, and I'll show people how it works. So it's kind of big on Jonas. How old are you, buddy?
5.
All right, so we'll see what it looks like on me. So you just, you can undo this right here. This is also another feature that attracted me to the bag. It's like extremely heavy duty hardware, something that you'd find on a sailboat or something, but you pull this tab down here and then there's a spring that just resists this piston from coming down until it unhooks. And you know, it's really easy, just one hand operation. You can get rid of stuff, you can remove stuff. You know, to put it back, you depress that and release it. So I'm just going to open that. I'm going to attach this to here. All right. I'm going to attach this other one to that one. And it just snaps in there. And then I'll throw this on. Just like a backpack, but cooler. So this is what the Sightseer bag looks like with the Moneymaker strapped on. Extremely comfortable. It's supposed to sit back here so that you can reach back and unzip to grab your lens or your camera or put things away, and then you can reclose it without having to take anything off. All right. So this set of Moneymaker straps comes with a couple extra attachment links. They also come with the very heavy duty hardware that we saw earlier. So this is how the Moneymaker and the Sightseer bag go together. It's made to hang a little bit low so that you can easily reach back here and grab your next lens or put something away and then close it back up without having to take anything off. Very heavy duty construction. This version has straps that come out with another heavy duty hardware. It's got a buckle. It's got a buckle like metal piece to hold this strap down with a stud. You know, it's attached with this extremely heavy duty, like trapezoidal looking D-ring, and then it's got the same spring loaded like naval attachment, and this is for you to have an extra camera handy. All right, and if that's too much work, you've got this quick release option also. So you don't need to have all of this on all the time, but if you've got an extra smaller camera here, you can also have another one right here. Very heavy duty hardware with a quick release, and it's got another little nylon clip here. So, you know, most camera bags that we're used to are going to be made entirely of this sort of nylon strapping, and that's definitely not ideal. Another thing I like about the Moneymaker straps is just, you know, the uniqueness of it. So imagine that you're, you know, going to a wedding, or you're taking photographs at a place that requires a little bit formality. You know, you're going to be wearing black shoes, a black belt, black jacket, and so having this under your jacket, you know, with a dress shirt or something, would make a lot of sense. Another benefit to the Moneymaker straps that you might not think of is when you're traveling abroad, you've got all your camera gear. I mean, this is such a unique getup that, you know, I think it's almost like a level of protection against theft. And I know it might sound weird since it all looks high-end, but, you know, normally when you have a camera bag with just the nylon thin little strap, like, thieves are used to just cutting that and running. Or they won't even get off their bike, they'll just ride right past you, cut, and just take your camera and your bag with them. But, I mean, there's no place to really cut. I think a thief abroad wouldn't even really know what to do with this. So, very comfortable, very ergonomic, and just a very unique idea. So that's why I brought this Sightseer bag out. HoldFast also makes this in a more rugged looking olive color canvas with brown leather instead of this black bison leather, which is very rugged looking, and it just reminded me of like an awesome looking like turkey hunting pack that also would sit at your lower back and just have all your calls and everything available. So it comes in a few different colors, a few different types of leather. That's the HoldFast Moneymaker straps attached to the Sightseer bag. One last pocket I didn't mention, but it's back here, easy access.